Hi everyone, Assalamu alaikum. I trust all of you are well wherever you might find yourself. This is the first for me where I'm actually putting myself on camera and speaking on Instagram. The reason for that is I just got off Instagram myself, and it was actually the first post that popped up um, from someone I follow. I'm not going to mention his name. Um, I follow him and I admire his posts. I admire who this young man represents himself to be. And he's from Palestine. And he just posted something um, where he states that in order for him to visit or enter Masjid al-Aqsa, he has to apply for permission with Israel. Um, to basically go and pay homage to this masjid that us as Muslims know of. Um, the reason why I'm posting this, why I'm doing this myself, is the way that he spoke about it. It was, you could see it was heartfelt, but heart sore, and the expression in his face and the sound of his voice, it got to him that he needs to ask permission to do something from a land which he comes from. This is what Israel has gotten away with for over 70 years. And as a Muslim myself from South Africa, Muslims around the globe, we feel the frustration, we feel almost the helplessness in trying to get Palestine the freedom and the justice that it deserves. I'm pretty sure that as Muslims, we're not helpless. There is a lot that we can do as a unit. However, the unity is not as strong as it should be. Somewhat you can understand it, and somewhat you can't. My frustration and the reason for doing this video right now is not just because of the post I've seen that I just watched from this young guy that I follow. As a Muslim who has never been to Masjid al-Aqsa, ever, but would one day love to go there to pay homage, because this is the very first Qibla, the first masjid ever structured in the history of Islam. But any Muslim, not just Palestinians, for us to have to go through a certain barrier to get to where you need to be, to ask permission, I mean, how in the heck has Israel gotten away with what it does all these years? Problem that the world has about Islam. Nothing really, and at least that's my opinion. They're not educated in the religion of what Islam really stands for. Me as a Muslim, and the vast majority of Muslims throughout the globe, we do not believe nor do we condone bloodshed. We don't believe nor do we condone terrorism. We are against that. I, for one, don't practice a violent Islam. I'm lucky and fortunate enough to be South African as a nationality and being able to practice my religion freely. Although my country has gone through the era of apartheid, but that was based on color. Even through that age and through that period of time, religion has always been free to practice what it believes. In that sense, we were fortunate. But Palestine is not that fortunate to be free. I believe they will be set free. I believe justice will be served. When that's going to happen, we don't know. How that will happen, I myself don't know. But I believe they will come out of this. The amount of deaths and bloodshed on the hands of Israel is beyond measure. They are no different from the timeline of Pharaoh, and they are no different than the man who went by the name Hitler and what he's done. Yet they cause so much strife and they get away with it and they get patted on the back. How? I cannot fathom this. The young man that just posted roughly 2 hours ago, his emotions are so raw. Excuse me. It's as if I was standing with him while he was speaking, and all I wanted to do was jump through this phone and give him a hug. Here he is trying to make something of himself on this plane, on this earthly plane, on this dunya. And so far he's succeeding, but he has to do that outside of Palestine. Why not within? I have so much that I want to say, but again, this platform, this camera thing is so nerve-wracking that I'm stuck with my words because this is not what I do. I do believe that the unity of Muslims can become stronger, but we need to all be intentional in doing so. Because when there's protests and marches going on, one moment there is this mass number of people attending, and when it happens again, it's very little. Where we stand together, the Ummah is weak. And that's sad. Because Palestine is not the only one who needs us. Us as Muslims, we need Palestine as well. It goes both ways. To the young man who posted his video, I don't know if he's ever gonna come across this. I'm not even going to tag him. I'm not going to send this to him, but I feel for you. I feel with your people because your people are my people. As Muslims, we are one. It's raw what you just posted. I could see it on your face. I could hear it in your voice. It's not fair. The media that posts things every single day about the wrong of Islam. If Islam or Muslims is attacking Israel the way they say, why is it not exposed? Why is it not put on platforms so that we can see this happening? There's no bombings going off on Israel as far as I know. Maybe I've never come across it. Perhaps I'm just not looking in the right place. Every day, every single moment of the day, there's a post going off on Instagram about someone in Palestine dying, someone in Palestine being attacked, someone in Palestine being held captive and sent away to be behind bars. For what? The way that Israel and its military treats elderlies, older people, men and women, and what they do to children. Do you not grasp that you have your own families? Do you not grasp that you have parents yourself? Do you not grasp that you have children of your own? How in your mind do you think that what you do to others cannot be done to you? Do you not think that of death? All of us as human beings are going to die at some point. We're going to leave this earthly plane. We are going to stand in front of God, and we are going to have questions asked towards us. And we need to stand on our own 2 feet. No one's going to hold your hand. And you need to answer God in what He's going to ask you. Those military people, Israel is not going to hold your hand when you're standing before the Lord. And don't think that you can lie, because if your tongue lies, the hand will speak of what you've done. The way you've shoved people, the way you've hit women, the way you've thrown down older men who could have been your father or your grandfather, bashing their heads onto the ground until blood comes out. Children that you just shove into cars, and goodness only knows where you take them. How in your mind is that okay? I mean, I'm not the only one as a Muslim who feels this way. Again, Muslims all over the world feels the same way because we see this happening all the time. I have so much to say that I don't even know I don't even know where to begin. And again, videos like this is something I don't do. What I post, I don't put myself in it. But had it not been for the post that I've just seen, I wouldn't even have done this. Every single day, Palestine goes through something. It's not right. Media tarnishes Islam every single day, and they too get away with it. Do you get bad people in the world? I agree 150% with that. Yes, you get bad people in the world, but you also get good. Do you get people who do the wrong things? Do you get people who do bad things? Yes. Do we condone it? Does anyone condone it? No. Should you condone it? Hell no. What about love and kindness? What about being sincere, being generous, being authentic, being unconditional towards someone and not conditional? We love someone, but there's conditions based on it. We're being kind to someone, but there's conditions based on it. Love and kindness is something you do without a second thought. Being sincere to someone, you do without a second thought. Israel does not think or give a back thought of all the wrong they've done. And when the day comes, when Israel does flourish and it does blossom, and I believe that it will, it can happen. Would Israel be decent enough? They already aren't. There's no decency shown to apologize for all the wrong they've done. And even so, what would an apology do? The people they've killed, the people they've barricaded behind steel bars, children they've taken away from their parents, incarcerated for years, coming out of jail or wherever it is they put these kids, 20 years down the line, taking away a livelihood, taking away their childhood, taking them away from their families, from their mothers, their fathers. And by the time they do come out of jail, parents might even might not have even survived in that 20-year period. They come out, no parents to go to. And it's a joke. It's something to laugh about as far as Israel is concerned about. I'm so frustrated that I'm basically falling over my words. Do I hate what Palestine is going through? Of course, but I'm not the only one. We can only use a platform to say so much. And even platforms blocks you in saying what is right. But they condone everything that is said that is wrong. Do you get Muslims out there in the world? And it is a very, very, very small minority that does do wrong and they Muslim? Sorry. Of course they do wrong. Should they do it? No. Because as Muslims, we don't believe in doing an injustice to a next human being. You don't harm someone. It's not right. It's not correct. It's not accepted. Again, the vast majority of Muslims who practices the deen, who practices the faith, who practices the religion of Islam, are taught about love, are taught about respect, especially when it comes to the women folk. How to be obedient and respectful towards your parents, how to love and to be gentle towards children, how to be kind to the next human being. We are not taught about violence. Where does media get the information that, Islam again based on terrorism? I wasn't taught anything like that. Nowhere in anything that I read that's Islamic do I come across terrorism in Islam. Not even in the Quran. It is frustrating that this is happening. And why only Islam? What is it about Islam that the world has a problem with? Fortunately, in South Africa, where I'm from, again, we have been so fortunate, so lucky that throughout years, Muslims and Christians have always coincided with each other, and it's been respectful. You can live in an area, like on the one side of the area, there's a mosque, and on another side of that same area, there's a masjid, a church, and we leave it be. As Muslims, although we don't go inside a synagogue, we don't go inside a church, but we respect it enough for the next person who worships something, because it's still a place of worship, and they respect us back. Why can't the rest of the world be that way? In a lot of ways, I'm very lucky to be South African, born and bred, but the next person is not going to be that lucky, and that is the sad thing. I have so much more to say, but the chest is boiling. I mean, how can it not? Had it not been again for the post that I've just seen, I wouldn't have done this. That is just my 2 cents. It's not really important, and you don't have to follow this. You don't even have to like it, because that's not exactly what I post. But I'm gonna do it anyway. Instagram might even remove it. Instagram being Instagram. But thanks for watching for those who did. Assalamu alaikum.